Shalom everyone, Most High in Christ bless. I am Jahira from the house of Deacon Yashua, and in this video we're going to discuss cover letters and resumes. Cover letters and resumes are important documents that you would need to submit along with your application if you are looking to apply for a new job, whether it's a new company or the current company that you're working for and you're looking for upward mobility. Sometimes as women, depending on our family goals, our abilities, our plans, if we need to do more, or if we just want to do more, we want to pay more debt. Sometimes, we do have to get our jobs outside of the home. There are many examples throughout the scriptures where our foremothers had to have a job. It is something that is common, and one of the examples that we can go over is Anna, Tobit's wife. And if we read on Tobit 2:11, it says, "And my wife Anna did take women's work to do." As we know, Tobit, became blind, and to help Anna had to get a job. There are circumstances where, our husbands fall on hard times, and it is our responsibility and our duty to step in and make sure that we are helping as much as we can. And a lot of times it means that we need to get a job. So we do have to be ready for those things. Shifra and Pua are another examples of our foremothers that had midwife jobs. We also have the whole chapter of Proverbs 31 that goes into a lot of things when it comes to us women doing the work. It's an excellent chapter, and I would suggest that you continue to read it. But for the purpose of this video, I do want to read Proverbs chapter 31, verse 13 through 16. And it says, chapter 13, She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She's like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also when it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. In your own time, I do advise that you go ahead and read the whole chapter. Sometimes, if we are looking to get married or we are married, the circumstances are different. Some of us don't have to go to work, and some of us do have to go to work outside of the home, which is why it's important that we understand that we need to have a cover letter and a resume available. Not all companies require a cover letter and a resume, but as a hiring manager, I can assure you that it will set you apart from all other candidates. A resume is the first impression that a hiring manager has, about the person that's applying. So we do want to go over what a resume is. So a resume is a formal document that displays your individual professional backgrounds and relevant skills. Like I said, you would need to have a resume if you're interested in finding a new job. Part of the application process is submitting your resume. Resume consists of work history, education, and a professional summary, and a list of all of your skills. A lot of times hiring managers would select a candidate for an interview solely based on what's on that resume. Now, what's a cover letter? A cover letter is a one-page document that you would send in with your resume that provides additional information about your skills and experience. It is typically short and concisely communicates your interest in a particular position. Like I mentioned before, not all companies require. As a hiring manager, when I am looking at resumes and cover letters from internal candidates, a lot of times I do have, previous information on their experience. I know what they're all about because they already work for the company. But when I am looking at external candidates and their resumes, I go solely based on what's on their resume and what their cover letter says. So I do want to go over some tips that you would want to consider when you are creating your cover letter and resume. First of all, for your resume, you want to make sure that you tailor it. You want to customize your resume for each application, emphasizing the skills and experiences that align with that job description. A lot of times there are, specific things and specific requirements, minimum requirements for a job. And if our resume does not mention any of the things that are in that job description, chances are that resume is probably going to get rejected. You want to go ahead and use a clear format. You want to use a clean, professional layout. Use headings, bullet points, and consistent fonts to enhance readability. You want to highlight your achievements instead of just listing your responsibilities. You want to go ahead and focus on quantifiable achievements. For example, if you helped or contributed to increase sales by 20%, for example. You want to include relevant keywords. You want to incorporate keywords from the job posting to pass through application tracking system. A lot of companies do have a pre-selection that goes through the human resource department. And if there's no keywords or nothing in your experience, calls for what the job is asking for, then, like I said, chances are your resume may get rejected. You want to keep it concise. You want to limit your resume to 1 page or 2 pages if you have an extensive experience. Be brief and relevant. You want to prioritize information. You want to place the most important information at the top of each section. You want to use verbs, which you want to use action verbs. You want to start bullet points with strong action verbs. For example, developed, managed, created, etc. You want to include your contact information, of course. You want to ensure that your name, your phone number, your email, and LinkedIn profile, if you have one, are easily visible. You want to showcase your skills. You want to include a skills section that highlights both hard and soft skills relevant to the position. And you want to make sure you proofread. You want to check for typos, grammatical errors. You want to consider having someone else review it as well. There are also a lot of websites. Grammarly is one of them. They also have an app where you copy and paste the information into the app, and it goes over the grammatical errors that they find, and also will give you options to make your resume sound even better. You are able to select your tone, and it's very helpful for those of you that need a little bit of an extra help when it comes to professionally writing a resume. Some of the tips that I want to cover for the cover letter. You want to address the hiring manager directly whenever possible. You want to make sure that you select the name. If you're able to find out who the hiring manager is, you want to make it personalized. You want to avoid things like "to whom it might concern." You want to open strong with a compelling introduction that grabs the attention and states the position that you are applying for. You want to tell a story, maybe. Use a narrative to illustrate why you're a great fit for the role, highlighting your passion and relevant experiences. You want to align with the company values. A lot of times we're not looking for, we're not doing our research as far as the company. It is very important to know the company's culture and mention that in your cover letter. You want to go ahead and be specific and mention projects or experiences that relate to the job, showcasing your qualifications. And of course, you want to express enthusiasm. You want to convey your excitement about the opportunity and the company, making it personal and sincere. I'll give you an example. For you want to mention something like, "I am very eager and excited to work for a company where inclusion is, a top priority." A lot of companies nowadays, that is what they stand for. So you want to make sure that you do your research as far as what the company culture is. And of course, you want to keep it professional. You want to maintain a formal tone, but let your personality shine through as well. Conclude with a call of action and with a statement that invites further conversations, such as expressing your desire for an interview. You want to limit the length. Keep the cover letter to 1 page. You want to focus only on the most relevant information that you want the hiring manager to know. Proofread again. like I said, have someone check it for you. I do highly recommend Grammarly, as it's worked wonders for me. Even at my job, I use it. They do have a free version and they also have a pay version. I don't have the pay version, but the free version works really well. And just like with your resume, you want to ensure that your cover letter is free of errors and it flows well. By following these steps, you want to create a polished resume and a cover letter that effectively showcase your qualifications and help you stand out in the job market. I'm going to go ahead and share a video that is going to share some of the tips that I've already read, and it's also going to give you new ones. So keep watching.
The key to a successful job search is a strong resume and cover letter. This is how you introduce yourself to potential employers and show them you have what it takes to excel in the position. Start by building a resume. Begin with your name, phone number, and email at the top of the page. You want to make sure the employer can easily contact you. Next, list your relevant education, skills, and experience. Begin with your most recent and relevant positions. Including volunteer experience is a great way to demonstrate your work ethic and commitment to the community. Try to use phrases, keywords, and skills that are listed in the job posting, and be specific when describing previous roles and responsibilities. Use verbs to describe situations that reflect specific skills. For example, rather than simply stating that you're a good public speaker, offer a situation that highlights this skill, such as, I presented at weekly meetings with board members. The ideal length of a resume is 2 pages. This can vary depending on the industry, but you should always try to maximize space. Employers are often reviewing a lot of resumes in a short amount of time, so you want to be clear and direct. Make sure each point is related to the position and only provide references if required. You can always give more information if you land an interview. Plus, there's the cover letter. This is your opportunity to stand out from the crowd. Use the cover letter as a way to expand on your resume, highlighting in more detail why you're perfect for the job. Treat it like a short essay. It shouldn't be longer than a single page. The ideal length is 300 to 600 words. Begin by introducing yourself and why you're interested in the position. Try to personalize it as much as possible. Instead of starting with "to whom it may concern," try to find out who exactly is hiring and address it to them. Next, briefly detail your applicable work, education, and volunteer experience. Demonstrate you've done your research by customizing it for the organization and the position. Share concrete examples and try to relate everything back to the job description. Your conclusion should sum up how your combination of experience and skills makes you the best fit for the role. There's no perfect way to build a resume and cover letter. Just do your research, avoid spelling errors, and show what makes you uniquely qualified. Remember, confidence is key. You've got this.
Because you prepared such a good cover letter and such a good resume, you are now selected for an interview. Like, what do you wear to an interview? It is most recommended that you wear a professional outfit. I would strongly recommend that you select a skirt suit or a dress suit. You want to pair that with a professionally looking blouse. You want to select neutral colors. You also want to make sure to wear closed-toe shoes. And you want to keep your accessories to a minimum. You want to avoid flashy pieces and be wise with your fringes and your head covers, as you do want to avoid unnecessary questionings during the interview process. As Israelite women, we already stand out from the rest of the women. Because we wear dresses and skirts, we look fancy every day. At my job, I get daily compliments because of the way I dress, and I am the most modest person at the job, but I'm the one that stands out the most because of my dress code. Now, by following these instructions and guidelines, you will be prepared to conduct a mock interview as part of the assignment for this module. So please be sure to carefully read the instructions on how to do the submission for the mock interview included in this module. Most High in Christ bless. Shalom.